but I can't. But it was about how why chivalry is dead or some baloney like that. Did you read that article?
I saw it on Facebook.
People
maybe
were posting it all over Facebook.
I think
yeah.
I did see it. It was written by a guy
Yes.
that.
Now, and I have a question for you because
Okay.
you seem to be a woman and I'm a
I
man.
seem to be.
And
Not everything is.
my
what it
question
seems.
for you. Disgusting. My
Okay.
question for you
Okay.
would be, what do you think about chivalry, and what do you think about a man doing nice things for you? Because some people really hate it. Like, I read the comments on that article, and some women are really against men doing nice things like buying you dinner and buying you flowers and chocolates and being nice to you.
Why?
And, like, holding your hand. Because they feel like men should stop treating women like delicate flowers, that they're people too, and that they can handle themselves, that they can pay for themselves, that they can get flowers for themselves if they want. And my question is, I think that's total baloney.
Yep.
I was raised in a household where my mother and my father both taught me to be, that way with women.
Chivalrous.
To always respect them more than I respect my male friends, obviously, and to be mindful of the differences between men and women, the whole nine.
Right.
And I don't know, I just thought it was weird that, and I understand, I get the point, women are their own people, they can handle themselves, they can take care of themselves, I get it.
Especially in this day and age, sure.
But if you're dating a man, and a man is dating you, don't you think that he should do those things? 'Cause I do.
Sure. I think it's all, it shouldn't be one-sided.
Of course, but
Okay.
I think in the beginning it's always one-sided, and I think that makes sense.
Right. There is that sort of old-fashioned
In the beginning, it's, hey, let me
suitor
take you out to
mindset.
dinner.
Right, absolutely. Yes, I think, well, let me preface this.
I just think it's part of the courting process.
Let me preface this. In not making generalizations or blanket statements of people our age, your feelings on that matter, you are of
A minority.
Minority.
Yeah.
Yes. People our age, guys believe that they don't have to do that in order to, like, hook up with a girl.
Well, and that was another part of the article.
But I will also say that that's because girls don't demand it or expect it.
Right, and the other part of that article was just that, and then a comment about that on the, a comment on the article
Yeah.
was that women enjoy hooking up just as much as men.
Okay.
So they don't always want to be courted. They don't always want to be taken out to dinner. And I get that. I mean, that makes sense. I don't know of the, needs of a woman. I'm not a woman. But I can imagine that they're similar. And I can imagine that they wouldn't always want a relationship with the person that they're seeing or hanging out with.
In this day and age, there's more casual
Right.
relationships. There's not so-and-so is with so-and-so. That's almost, it's not obsolete, absolutely not. People are in monogamous relationships, but you do have a tendency to see people,
Right.
in
And
casual relationships, not expecting those things.
So my question, since we're both,
I think we're on the same page about it.
we seem to be both on the same page. So my question as a man
Yep.
to a woman, as it seems, would be, what do I do? How do I know that?
How do you know what the girl wants?
Yeah, how do I figure that out? Because they don't just tell you. I figure that out. They don't just tell you what they
They
want.
don't tell you what they want. I would say I'm like a romantic person. I believe that when people get married, they get married forever.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce isn't an option. Things like that.
Right.
I believe that there's somebody out there for you. Things like that. So
like
in
that.
that case, I think on all levels, no matter what a girl says, she wants to feel special to one person. She wants to feel pursued. She might say that she wants the friends with benefits or the casual hookup, but I don't know deep down.
Well, I
what she
think
wants.
we
'Cause
all.
there's science to back that up. I mean,
Right.
girls get emotionally attached.
Hey,
and
guys
they
get
want
emotionally
that.
attached too.
Sure.
You
I'm
know,
looking for this quote.
I think we all want what you said. I think we all want somebody to make us feel better.
I mean, whether people have been jaded in the past makes them
right. And that makes sense.
say something
we can understand
different.
that.
But I think in a relationship, it's not all about the guy taking care of you, that you should contribute as well.
I think the
and you
beginning
should do
part
things
is
for them.
I think the beginning part is definitely that.
Just-
And that might be me being, disconnected with the thoughts of a woman.
Right.
But that's how I see the beginning, month of the courting process
Right.
of trying to date a girl that you're interested
Now,
in.
do you ask this question because you feel you've been unsuccessful in this way? Girls are put
Well, I've
off by
certainly
that.
been unsuccessful.
Haven't we all? So you feel like you've been what you consider just nice, and they see it as overly nice,
Well,
too much. Almost girls nowadays will say, "Oh, that's creepy. That's weird."
Right,
He would
and
do
that's
that.
that's the other half of my question
Okay.
is me asking you out to dinner creepy now? Do people get weirded out by that?
I think it's
Or
not.
am I supposed to text you at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and say, hey, come over?
No, I think. Listen, it's apropos, right? It's not
Ooh.
as
SAT
common,
word.
but girls will go to their friends and say, "Oh, he asked me to dinner. That's so sweet." And they'll say, "Oh my God, that's so sweet." It's almost like, and if you open a door for a girl, that's so unheard of these days
Mm-hmm.
that it's like you're taken aback by it, but in a good way.
Yeah. There's just so much that goes into this baloney. And it's difficult for men or women to figure out what what the other party wants.
Right.
Because nobody's, just saying it anymore.
Back to my point about girls. I mean, a guy will give you as much respect as you demand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a firm believer in that. And
It's true.
If he doesn't, then that's not the right
It's
guy that you want to be associated
You're very
with.
right.
And just a point of how girls today dress and how they act and how they're more. And I'm not making generalizations, and I'm not trying to act in any way, but I do like this quote, and it's from Christina Hendricks that plays Joan
Okay.
on Mad Men. So talk about a difference in
50s and stuff like
back
that.
in the day. It
Yep.
says, "My fellow women of the world, put on some clothes. You want a man to give you the time of day. Leave a little up to the imagination and respect yourself. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and the beholder is anyone you want it to be." And that's saying if you dress yourself a certain way and if you behave a certain way when you're out, you'll attract the people that are going to be more chivalrous. They're going to be
Right.
more respectful. And if you dress yourself and act like you know what, then you're going to respect the guys that are pigs.
Whoa.
And that's my feeling on it.
Question.
Yeah.
This is all today's show is me asking you questions.
We're
about
just going to
women.
talk about girls and guys all day.
I don't mind it. What is this thing that women have with a chase?
Okay.
They like to be chased.
And then they get bored when they're in a
And then they
relationship.
get bored when they, and they get bored when men just say straight up, you know what, I want to take you out because I like you. Because I want to get to know you.
Or
You don't
what
have
about
to do that anymore.
what about the nice guy
Right.
always finishing last?
Right. You can't be straightforward anymore. You can't say, hey, listen, I want to take you out to dinner because I want to get to know you more. You have to say, hey, I'd take you out to dinner, but actually tomorrow I'm going out with your sister. So if you could just wait.
Because they want to feel like they're being chased.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
I
hate that. It's so annoying. And then there's all these rules that if I text, a woman more than twice in a day.
well, that's funny because I have a segment for the unwritten rules of
good.
texting.
Good, I'm in.
And just 2 texts without a response is
Oh,
the
it's like
limit.
it's the worst.
Especially when you're already in the relationship, they say. Because then,
really?
let's talk about,
Oh, then you get clingy.
once you're in the relationship,
Yeah, now you
have you
get clingy.
experienced the girl doing a total 180, flipping and being crazy? Like, she's cool and she's sexy and you're really into her when you're dating, when you're pursuing her, and then you've got her, she feels like she has you, and she turns into needy, crazy.
Now listen, I don't know who's listening. But
5
yes.
people, actually.
But yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think girls
Well,
do that?
I mean, I guess it was a little different. It was long distance, so I mean, I understand.
That's a whole nother beast, and we have a whole nother show for that, which we're not going into today.
Yeah. Anyway, I would say yes to that question.
Okay.
And I forget your second question.
My second question was if she, turns
Oh,
into
what
a
happened?
total.
Like what happened? Like why do
Why do
girls
you
do
think
that?
Yeah.
Why do I think girls do that? Oh, I don't know. I think everybody does. I think men are vulnerable to it too. Everybody's vulnerable to it. I think at our age, it's more. It happens more often because people get jealous, and
Jealousy does play a
and
big role.
at 20 or 21 or 22, when you're not always with that person and they're still young and beautiful and lively and who the hell knows what they're doing,
Right.
that's when things get scary if you're a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Doubt
And
kills.
of course, and I don't blame people. I mean, I get jealous sometimes. I'm not overly jealous. You know me, I'm very outgoing, so I don't, care about that kind of stuff. But certain men, and I don't blame them, would definitely feel, back burner-ish.
I think this is such an interesting age to be, and I was talking to somebody about this recently, is that relationships play a big role. Probably
me.
Probably the biggest yet.
You're talking to me about it at lunch.
Oh my gosh. Was that you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenny.
Jeez, Allie.
I'm sorry. I was talking to Kenny at lunch about
God.
how relationships play the biggest role so far that they have in the past. Right, we talked about this. In
Yep.
high school,
Yep.
they weren't the biggest because you didn't have all the freedom. You didn't live on your own, so it wasn't a full, all-encompassing relationship.
Right.
It was one facet of your life. But now relationships play a huge role, and there's almost all this pressure.
Yeah. It's like it's an aspect of your life that you're missing.
Right, if you're not
And then you have to fulfill it
even in a monogamous relationship, but if you're not
talking to somebody.
I'm not texting anyone right now. Like, I'll put that out there on the burner. Like, I text my friends about our plans. I text my family, and it's all friendly. Like, I have no
Right.
romantic interest, and I'm not saying this in a pathetic way because, it's good to be alone and it's good to be on your own sometimes because that's when you find out who you are. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that's almost frowned upon. If you don't have
Right.
anyone on the side, on the back burner, on the front burner, anywhere,
Right.
on the stove.
You kind of feel.
I've got no one on the
You've
stove.
got nothing in the stove region. Do you have anything in the oven?
No.
Oh, okay. No.
That
Not
got
that
weird.
oven.
That got weird.
Not that. Okay.
Okay. Anything in the
Jeez.
kitchen.
Yeah.
I am cooking in the kitchen by myself.
Aw. Making mac and cheese.
Yeah.
In the microwave because you can't
No,
use the
I'm just
stovetop.
eating ice cream with a spoon.
Oh,
no, I'm
no.
kidding. I'm kidding.
You said you didn't do that.
And that's
well, you
the
said you did, but you
other
have
thing.
individual pints.
That's the other thing is that it's almost like, oh, well, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
That you can't find somebody. When maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're just on your own right now.
Yeah, there's
and
nothing
you're
wrong
doing
with
your
you.
own thing. Silent pause. But I think it only gets harder from here on out.
No, it's true.
And the
because now-
pressure
and then when
only
you
gets more intense.
think about it. And I don't want to depress you, but I'm in the same boat, so it's okay.
Okay.
What are we? We're 20 and 21.
I'm going to be 22.
You're going to be 22.
Which is so young.
It is. It's so young, but isn't it so old at the same time?
Now, in terms of relationships, I disagree.
I don't know. Well, you know what? I have an odd view because my brother, who's my older brother, 5 years older than me, by 10th grade he was in a relationship with his soon-to-be his wife. So
Right. Well, you're absolutely shaped by your parents'
Right.
marriage and the people
They've been
around
married
you.
for how long now? 30 years, 27,
Well,
28
and what
years.
age they got married affects what age you think
Exactly.
you should get married.
Exactly. And my mother was, I guess 25, 26 when she got married. My dad was 35.
I see that as young. Do you see 26 as young?
No, my
to get
brother's
married?
getting married at 25
I see that as young.
or 26, 25. I don't see it as the reason I don't see it as young is because they've been dating for so long.
Right.
But I mean, if I started dating somebody tomorrow, which I'm not, I would not.
You don't know what tomorrow brings.
I can guarantee you, it's not going to bring a love. Hi, James.
Guarantee.
Michael
No, that is a
James.
good point to make. I've had friends whose parents got married very young in their early 20s, and they say, no, I think that's totally normal. And then my parents got married near 30, and I think that's normal. So, of course, you're shaped by what's normal, by
Yeah.
what you grew up seeing.
And it's weird. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with either way. But and then of course your mind takes a weird. And this chair is scaring the hell out of me because it leans back very far. But and then you get nervous because when you
Right.
turn 24 and you're not committed.
When are you supposed to panic?
When am I supposed to panic? I
When
wish I
is
knew.
anyone
I'm
supposed to
panicking
panic?
now.
See, I'm more concerned with panicking about a job.
Well, yeah.
or-
Well, see, I still have another year of college, so I don't have to
Right.
panic about the job yet. I can hit the early relationship panic button
No, don't do that one either.
and see what happens.
You gotta think your 20s is a whole decade.
I know, it's so long.
It's so long, and you don't have to get married at all during your 20s.
You don't.
You could spend your
You don't have to
whole
get married
20s.
at all. I mean,
Or
I
that.
want to, but you don't have to.
Right. So I just think, and this is maybe a
Relationships are
very
weird.
pessimistic way to look at it,
Oh,
is
boy.
once you marry somebody, you're with them forever.
Would you rather spend the rest of your life with yourself? Because I'm getting
No,
tired
well,
of
you
me.
don't want to wait too long that it's going to pass you by.
Ooh, I like that.
But you don't want to miss out on these years to be independent, financially independent.
I don't want to be financially independent.
Really? You're just looking to
scares me.
dump your finances on some girl.
I wouldn't mind if I found a nice, wealthy woman.
All right.
to
Well,
take me
that's
on.
our take on relationships, everybody. That was a cool segment. Let's
was
go to
fun.
this unwritten
Yeah.
rules of texting, and
Let's
it's
do it.
actually a video, so this can be
Ooh,
kind of
okay.
fun and break us up some
Give us some sound.
some sound, but it's a video on YouTube, and the words are going to pop up on the screen. They're not going to say them out loud. There's just going to be this cool background music. So I'll read them, and we'll kind of discuss it, but it's going to be fast-paced.
Okay, go.
So, are you ready for this?
Ready when you are.
This is the unwritten rules of texting from BuzzFeed. And it's about to load. I watched it last night, and
You got to preload your videos.
I do. Some I agree with, some I don't.
Oh. Well, we'll debrief.
Okay. What do you think it's going to say?
I think no double texting. I think if you're, flirting with a person, you're not allowed to text them like more than once a week or something like that.
Once a week?
I don't know the rules. I'm bad at it. I'm actually really, really bad. Like, I would be in the minor leagues, like single A baseball team, like batting last, playing left out.
Because you're not good at texting?
Because I can't do it.
All right, well, this isn't loading.
Oh,
now
good.
we've got an ad, so
No,
hold
turn
on
that
a
off.
sec.
We don't do advertisements on the lunch hour.
All right, we're almost here. I can skip it. We could do a whole segment on YouTube ads and how much I despise them. Okay, here we go. BuzzFeed presents the unwritten rules of texting. Here we go. Rule number 1. Don't open a conversation with hey. Instead, use hey with a bunch of Y's, because that equals a happy face. The other one equals a mad face. Agree?
Yes, I do.
Rule number 2, dinner and a movie tonight. Excited to see you. They answer K. Wrong. K equals I don't give an F about you. K is the worst. Rule number 3, don't send too many. Morning, how are you? Want to hang out today? Or coffee right now? You can meet my dog. He's a purebred. You can only text twice without a response, especially while dating. Especially.
Okay.
Rule number 4, keep them short.
Oh.
This is a whole novel. Nobody wants to read a novel. You just say, do you remember Jim's girlfriend's name? She answers, it's Becky. Say thank you. Done.
Okay.
You would say thanks in real life.
IRL.
In real life. We're talking about abbreviations next. LOL is overused. Only use it if you actually laugh out loud. I disagree with that one.
Yeah, me too.
Rule number 7, don't do this to your friends. Happy New Year, everybody. They write back, Happy New Year. You write back, who is this? Mass group texts are the worst. And lastly, the best emoji, in their opinion, is the ghost with its tongue out.
Well, okay.
And
As long as we have that last emoji thing.
those are your unwritten rules of texting.
I very much disagree with that LOL one.
I would have wholeheartedly agreed with that, but too many people have told me that I sound mean over text because I never use LOL. I just say it how I would in real life.
But you would if you didn't.
So now I use LOL all the time. I force myself to do it.
I use LOLs instead of periods.
Really?
Because if you use periods, if you use proper grammar in a text message, people lose a lot of respect for you.
It's too harsh.
It's too harsh. Like, you're not allowed to say, hi, how are you, ? You need to say, hi, how are you, LOL.
Or like those multiple letters.
Yeah.
Like they
and
say.
that's my question. And even when I texted you last night, I said LOL. I wasn't LOLing.
Let's read Kenny and I's conversation from
That
last
was a good
night.
one. I think it was a good one.
I was half asleep.
Oh.
He says, "Hey," with an exclamation. So it's already friendly.
Yep.
I'm gonna be late tomorrow, I have a judicial hearing I have to attend for SGA at 12:45, but I should be done no later than 1:15. LOL.
LOL.
That's not a funny text. Why did he have to put LOL?
Because it just makes me seem happier and nicer.
Now do I sound short? I said, okay, no prob. I'll start without you. Should I have put LOL?
I mean, you didn't even put like a ... or anything. I thought you were just being like, funny. I assumed you were being funny because I assumed that's how you would text.
I text very straightforward. You say,
Yeah.
try not to lose any viewers without me, ... And I said, hard to do when we have so few. Then I could have put an LOL in
You
there.
gonna tell that to the viewers right now?
No, they still love us. And so that's how, yeah, I just think people know in real life I'm not.
Right, you're not mean.
The K is no good.
K is me.
Now let's talk about two Ks together. KK.
I do that to friends.
KK to me seems like, okay.
Yeah, I do that when somebody says, hey, you want to grab dinner?
I'm
like,
looking
meet
through my
outside in
text
5 minutes?
messages and trying to see
Yeah, maybe I should do that too.
if I'm nice or mean.
The group text thing, it works sometimes. This summer, though, I was in a group text with myself and all of my old friends from high school.
Group texts are hard to get out of once you're in them. It's almost like a cult.
That's from Mike DeMurgis.
Mike, we'll talk later.
We so hard, DeMurgis. You're just sad.
What about funny autocorrects? Autocorrect can be so funny sometimes, you know?
Yeah, no, autocorrect actually really livens up some conversations. I'm going to be honest with you, and don't be mad at me, but I've actually used autocorrect on purpose to a woman to re-spark a conversation.
What do you mean?
I was typing something out, and I don't remember the exact autocorrection, but it changed from, something normal, like, hello. Oh, actually, I just did it this morning. Speaking of the devil.
You already forgot from this morning?
Yes. I was texting my brother, and I said something like, oh, I don't want to forget, but it autocorrected to erode.
I don't want to erode.
And I was like, well, I certainly don't want to erode either. So, and then we sparked a conversation from that. So it was good. And I don't remember the exact autocorrection from.
So that's almost a way to double text.
Yes.
Without being creepy, because there was a reason behind it.
Now, people, I will say, have found the ways around being creepy, like myself, to double text.
Okay. Like what?
Like to double text using autocorrect as a,
Right, or you ask a question you know is going to elicit a response.
Yes.
These are the crazy mind games people have to play nowadays.
Because you can't
because
just
of
be
technology.
Straightforward. No. It's not because of
technology.
No, it's because of women and their oddities.
You blame it all on women.
I as a straight man.
Go ahead, we could disagree
As a
here.
straight man, I do.
Okay.
If I was gay, I might say that it's all guys are weird.
Well, just because you're blaming it on your romantic
on my experience,
interest.
yes.
Right.
So from my experience, I can tell you that 1, women don't like men being nice. 2,
women like mean guys.
Yep. 2, women don't like their friends. 3,
women don't like their friends?
Their boyfriends. Their male.
Oh, when you're in the friend zone, you're stuck
yes.
in the friend zone
forever. I don't
forever.
believe in the friend zone, but I don't think women want to romantically be involved with their friends.
Okay, you think once you're friends with the guy, you'll never see him in another light?
Yes.
That's being in the friend zone.
I guess, but I don't like the term friend zone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
About
friend area.
Friend
section.
Place. The friend section.
The friend neighborhood?
3 is that women abuse their male relationships. And 4 is that...
Whoa. Back that one up.
Backing up.
They abuse their relationships.
They play emotional mind games with men.
Okay.
And you do. And you do it too.
Okay, go on.
And I'm trying to remember what number 4 was. 4 is that they are not capable of giving you a straight-up answer to a straight-up question about a straight-up thing.
Like, what's wrong? And they say nothing.
Yes, and then you say,
nothing.
okay, well, you're standing on the edge of a bridge. There seems to be something wrong. And then she says, no, nothing.
Well, let me tell you my take on guys.
Okay, go for it. We're all perfect, so there's not much you can say.
Oh, you're right. Okay, actually, end of segment. No. Guys have as many feelings as girls and are emotionally invested.
Yes, we
but
are.
But they won't admit it.
Oh, baloney. We totally will.
Nope. It's rare. Guys, I have so many. No, that's a big one. They won't.
They don't take out their garbage.
No. They won't talk about their feelings the way girls will, but they have them, and that's my problem.
Right.
They think it's emasculating when it's not. It's actually brave, and girls appreciate it. Not coming on so strong, like you've dated the girl, you've been on 2 dates, and you're telling her, I can't wait to take you home this weekend.
Oh.
That's terrible. Like to meet the parent. No.
That's
what I meant.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think they're not as honest with their feelings as girls are, and they play games too. Like they know when they're being a-holes, and they do it anyway.
We do.
And they know when they want to commit or they don't want to commit, but they won't be honest about that. They'll string a girl along. Like, okay, here's a situation. I have an unnamed friend that if from the beginning this guy had been honest and said, I am not in the place where I want a girlfriend right now, she would have never got emotionally attached to him. She would have never let herself get interested in him, and she would have never gotten hurt. Okay. But from the beginning, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to want a girlfriend. So to a girl, that means he might in 3 months, and I could be that girlfriend, so I'll stick around. And at that point in the game, you're involved.
Yeah, but how do you know, as a man, that that's a woman you want to bring home to meet your parents.
Well, this is a whole other.
It sure is, and it's an honest question.
I think you're right about straightforwardness. If everybody up front was like, if you just kind of checked in
I think
regularly, what are we
guys-
doing? But nobody can do that.
I think guys in 2013 have gotten to the point where they don't care anymore, and they're just gonna say it. He's gonna say,
They don't
"Hey,
care
listen."
about what?
They don't care about being embarrassed anymore, or being nervous. They're just gonna say, "You know what? I want to take you out to dinner." And the woman is either gonna say yes or no, and then she may or may not cancel a few times, but she may or may
You
not.
can't talk about one experience.
I mean, come on, there was 7, and
No, I'm saying one isolated person. We're
Yeah.
talking general here.
I don't know. I just think that being honest and straightforward is the only way around all of this baloney that we call, flirting now.
I think you
Because
shouldn't-
honestly, it's a total.
I think you shouldn't text the person that you're involved with all day, every day, because sometimes you've got.
gets annoying.
Well, let me tell you, because it's worked and it hasn't worked. If you're in a relationship with somebody that you see a lot, and you're not as, I'm just, God, totally speaking from personal experience now.
Well, yeah, me too.
Sometimes it works if you don't text, and then you have more to talk about at night. You have a phone call that night. You didn't know what they did every single minute of that day.
But if you do both, then you kind of end up like.
It gets monotonous where you're like, hey, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Oh, cool.
Mhm.
What are you doing now? It's just you're giving someone a play-by-play of your
Yes.
day. And also, you're not really living your day. If you're constantly status
true.
updating and
That's true.
treating it like I have to tell someone what I'm doing,
Amen.
then you're not actually doing it. On the other hand, you could have a connection with somebody where you're not really talking about your day, you're just talking all throughout the day about little funny things, little things that happen, and that can work too where you don't ever run out of things to talk about.
That's fair.
So I guess the point to take away from is that every
Every
relationship is different.
Oh,
And we're on
we're good
point.
at that. We're good at that.
Wow, well, this was a long and winded talk about relationships. I had
I like
no
it.
idea we were going
Me
in
neither.
this
It just kind of
direction.
when did it how did it start?
I had news to talk about. I
I'm
had
sorry.
stories of the day. It doesn't matter because this was fun, and
This
I think
was
it was enjoyable.
See, again, I gotta say it. We do good as a talk radio.
Well, now I'd be interested to see how many people who are listening, and probably on the older side because a lot of it's our
Yeah,
relatives,
they're gonna
are
have some-
laughing
yeah.
at us making
I know,
all
what
of
are
these
they?
conjectures
Yeah.
about romantic things
Yeah,
and
at
being
30,
married.
they're probably
like, oh
like,
yeah.
ah, yeah, silly.
Kenny and I have so much insight at the ripe
Yeah,
age of 20 and
20.
21.
Yeah, me. I'm
They're laughing to themselves
relationship guru.
but you know.
Hey, we go through it. It's college. This is our time to be stupidly and overly infatuated with random people at random times, and then get really like
yeah, I mean, you don't want to be in a boring
right, and you
relationship. Save that for
Your
no
job-
offense, but later
Save
in
that
life.
for
Save
when
that
you're
for when
old.
you've got
Yeah.
kids and
right now your job is to get really overly attached to somebody and then break up with them and then cry in the shower for 3 days and then do it again.
I don't totally agree with that, but I know what you mean is that you just want to experience
Exactly. Different types of men, different types of women,
all the flavors, all the
flavors.
yeah. Who knows? I mean, you just gotta do. Why so many food and kitchen references?
All the
I
flavors.
think I'm hungry.
Yeah. You got to go to class though.
I do. I'm on this note gonna sign off.
Go get maybe pick up a bag of chips or something.
Now, instead of going directly to sports, I want you for the rest of the show to kind of just talk to yourself
Oh, I
like
could
I had
totally
to
do
talk
it.
to myself.
I
I
could
talked
totally
about
do
my
it.
weekend. You go ahead.
Aw, okay. Well, my weekend was phenomenal. Homecoming weekend. Great time for me. Great time for the room. Great time for everybody. But I will say I have a story about a friend who is actually listening to the show and would like me to talk about his love life really quickly. He's got an interesting situation with a woman that he met